What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You're dead meat! Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Welcome to the Dead Meat Podcast, your horror safe haven. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm James, and we're married, and we like to get scared together.
Yeah, so I feel like the podcast the past couple weeks has been too good. We've been talking about too many good films.
Yeah.
And we need to trash it up around here, I think.
Yeah, let's get some trash.
Yeah. Speaking of that, on the kill count this week, I did American Psycho 2, which is probably a worse movie than this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's think of the traditional bad movies on the channel. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Did you watch that with me?
I did, yeah.
Okay. I think that's worse than this.
Yeah.
Definitely worse than this.
There's a lot of things that are worse than this.
Yes.
This is still really bad.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people like this movie.
A lot of people really like this movie.
So because I know that you hated this fucking movie.
I did. I hated it.
I disliked this movie.
I can see liking it because it's so bad, though. I understand that.
No. Some people really like it.
Genuinely?
Yeah, some people genuinely like it. They're gamers. This movie's about gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Stay Alive from 2006, what is sometimes considered to be Disney's only horror movie, because it was produced under the Hollywood Pictures studio. It was made in 2006, like we said. The last movie made by Hollywood Pictures before this was in 2001. And then they made Stay Alive and two others in 2006 and then shut down or merged with another.
I went and looked at it because I was like, what's Hollywood Pictures? And I looked at it and the
Arachnophobia.
logo just...
The Sphinx, yeah.
Yeah, that nostalgia.
The first movie listed on their Wikipedia is Arachnophobia. And I think their biggest movie was Sixth Sense, which was huge.
Okay.
Fucking huge. So.
And then this.
And then this.
So what, you said Disney acquired them?
No, it was like a division of Disney.
I see.
Because Disney acquired Fox, so they have all the Fox horror movies.
Yeah, so it sounds like this movie, after it was already in production, was then acquired by Disney and
acquired by, or maybe set up with Hollywood Pictures, maybe as a distributor.
Yeah, and so then it just got kind of fucked with by the studio. But honestly, everyone's gonna be mad at me, all right? But the unrated version of this is still really bad.
We went out of our way to watch this unrated version.
Because everyone said, make sure you watch the unrated one because Disney ruined it. They made this really shitty PG-13 movie and it doesn't make any sense, in which apparently you went and looked at the differences between the two cuts.
I'll be going over them as we continue, because we just watched the unrated version. No way in fuck we were watching this twice. Yeah. But I did look up the differences, which are substantial. We're talking 15 minutes is the difference of the runtime. The theatrical version...
Entire characters, apparently.
Yeah. The theatrical version, it was released PG-13 and was cut down to 85 minutes. The unrated version, which we watched, also known as the director's cut, is...
it's 100.
Hour 40. Yeah. 100 minutes long. Yeah. So 15 minutes difference. That is substantial. And I felt it.
I really felt it.
That second half is fucking boring.
It's very boring. And at least, it makes mostly sense.
Yeah, when I tell you what's missing, it's going to be flabbergasting how bad the PG-13 version is.
I'm very curious. Yeah, this is a movie where it's an evil video game, and if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah. Which is I think that phrase has outlived the movie.
It absolutely has. I did not even realize that was from this movie.
It's been compared to The Ring as like a cursed technological thing.
Oh, okay. In what way?
Not in quality, no, but just as, a cursed piece of technology causing the death of people. Its focus is on, what's her name? The Countess?
Oh, Elizabeth Bathory.
Yeah, an actual historical figure who was also the subject of, I'm looking over at Gressel behind the camera, also the subject of one of Veronica's shorts. The last one, she's the one who bathes in blood. And by the way, we've mentioned Veronica several times, which I think is the worst movie
Yeah,
we've ever
I think
watched.
it's gotta be the worst.
I would say.
This is the second week in a row it's come up. It's
I think
really
third.
living in our heads.
And some people are like, "What's wrong with Veronica?" That one.
Have you seen
No,
it?
no. They think we're talking about Veronica, that Spanish movie. No. That movie's fine.
that movie's perfectly serviceable.
Yes.
This is Verotica.
Yes, by
With a
Glenn
K.
Danzig with a K, and I would say that's worse than Thanksgiving 3.
Yes. I'm going to say it's the worst.
I think it's the worst.
I think it has the added factor of Glenn Danzig being a giant piece of shit that really just,
and
I
it's
think-
thinking that it's good.
yes.
Thanksgiving 3 knows it's shit. It's just shittier than it thinks it is.
Yeah.
Veronica. Oof.
Yeah.
So you heard it here. Worst dead meat movie, Veronica.
We're never watching it again. I know everyone's saying like, oh, do it as a bit. No, I can't.
Join the Patreon, listen to the commentary
maybe
track.
in like 10 years. And I'm on Quaaludes or something. I can't do it again.
Anyway, Stay Alive, which is not as bad as Veronica. Yeah, it's the thing where it's like when we talked about American Psycho 2. Some people were like, well, if it wasn't forced to be an American Psycho sequel, people wouldn't think it was that bad. No, that movie's
just
dog shit, regardless of how it was forced to be a sequel. This movie's dog shit, whether it's unrated or theatrical. But if you like it, that's fine.
I can see how this would feel like a warm blanket for a lot of people. It
If you
does
saw it at the
have
right
some
time.
nostalgia feeling.
It's steeped in 2006.
That honestly might be part of why I was so unsettled the entire time, because it reminded me so much of hanging out with my friends playing, I don't know, like Counter-Strike or Halo Online.
Or
like, just-
Unreal Tournament, which is
Yeah.
how he says it in this.
It just like that 2000s gamer culture, like Newgrounds type shit. Do you know what that feeling?
It's internet edgelords, yeah.
Yeah, just hanging on every E3 announcement every year, and yeah, going to Smash tournaments at LAN cafes. I don't know. It feels like maybe too real for me, because all the people I hung out with in high school were all the gamers, and I feel like I was often, there's like the two girl characters in this movie.
Just Girlfriend 1 and Girlfriend 2.
A little bit, yeah. I'm like, it's just too real.
And, credit to them, they do work in some specific gamer culture vocab.
Yeah.
Way before gaming was as mainstream as it is now.
Yeah, it sounds like the team who made this movie like were legit gamers, game fans, and I think they also had someone from Epic Games as like a consultant.
Okay.
It sounds like. So it's, aside from the fact that the original setup that they played this game on is impossible and is very funny, I think beyond that, it's legit. I mean, they're referencing Fatal Frame, which is kind of a deep cut.
Yeah, they're talking about owning noobs. The video game store clerk has a shirt that says Woot on
I
it,
felt that in my-
W00T.
Dude, when I saw his shirt, I felt it in my stomach. Yes, the W00T exclamation.
I was like,
just
it's
gave
been
me
years since I've thought of Woot.
Woot. Oh, man.
Just thinking of all my fucking nerdy friends from school typing that into AOL Instant Messenger. Oh, man.
Yeah.
This was directed by William Brent Bell,
William Brent Bell.
who also made
The Boy.
The Boy.
And Bram's The Boy, too, which we still haven't watched
we
that.
have not, we gotta have Beth
We
over
gotta
for
have
that.
Beth over to do that.
Also
He's doing the
working on
new
that
Orphan.
new Orphan movie, yeah. And it was produced by McG.
Yes, it was. So we were out of town last weekend, and we were up till like 4 a.m. one night just watching music videos on the hotel room
From the
TV.
90s specifically,
Yes, it was
and early
it was
2000s.
90s into the early 2000s. Lots of McG showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, McG.
All right.
Let's just get into
Let's
the
fucking talk
shit.
about Stay Alive.
Yeah. I mean, it immediately starts with a spooky eyeball jump scare.
Oh, this movie's Jump Scare City, baby.
Yeah, and there's not many that are very effective. I wasn't really, unlike White Noise, which that movie was all jump scares and they got me every single time. This movie's jump scares just kind of feel like, okay.
They're flashes and loud noises.
Yeah. There's this Microsoft Flight Simulator looking opening shot where we zoom into this plantation kind of building.
Yeah.
We realized that it's in a video game. At first I thought, oh no, this
this
is
the
a
whole movie?
CGI shot of and I was very
This
scared
fucking
for a
food
second.
fight. Yeah.
No. It's supposed to be a video game, so it's CGI, and we're in the POV of this video game character. It's kind of like a Silent Hill.
Yeah. Or Slender Man kind of felt the same way, like walking around, finding the Slender Man house.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Yeah.
Or
it
like
was-
that PT.
Yes.
Where it's just your POV inside of a house, and
Mm-hmm.
there's creepy pictures on the wall and stuff.
And it probably is a plantation building. It was filmed in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got
It's
that.
definitely. I think they call it a plantation at
Okay.
a couple points. This game does feel real, to this movie's credit. This does feel legitimately like something I would have played at friends' houses in the 2000s.
And some of it looks fine.
Yeah.
I think this first shot for a 2006 CG film video game created for a movie.
especially if
I
it's
think it looks
supposed to
fine.
be a video game.
Yeah.
It tracks totally. There's at one point there's these creepy girls everywhere and everything's kind of blue and it just looks like the Blumhouse intro.
It does.
card.
It gets very Blumhouse
You've got like a
production
spinning
card.
chair in the corner. Oh man, if this game came out today, there would be all kinds of compilations on YouTube of people reacting to it, like best Twitch stream jump scares of Stay Alive. We cut to reveal the person playing as Milo Ventimiglia from Heroes at that point in time. He was on Gilmore Girls though, right? Oh yeah. Okay. He was
So
on
2006, he's
Oh, he was hot
He
then.
would have been coming off of Gilmore Girls and like the star of Heroes.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
the
was
star of
the
Heroes, okay.
him and Hayden Panettiere were the big they were the Daenerys and Jon Snow of Heroes. If I had to give you kind of a reference point for their characters on that show.
well, it's probably why he's only in this movie for about 10 minutes.
He's the Drew Barrymore
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, he's playing this game, Stay Alive. I think he's a game tester. He dies in the game that he's playing. His character gets hanged from the ceiling. He falls off the staircase,
and he calls his buddy
Yeah.
and asks him to come over and hang out because he just died in his video game.
yeah, he calls our eventual main character
Hutch.
Hutch.
So I have a friend named Hutch.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't hear too many dudes just named Hutch.
Yeah, and this guy, Milo's name is Loomis,
Yeah,
as his
of
first
course.
name, but yes, well-known
Yeah,
horror
first name is a weird choice. Every other horror character is Loomis. It's fine. I like it.
Yeah, he calls Hutch and is like, come hang out, and Hutch is like, nah.
I'm busy.
Yeah.
Stuff. Stuff.
So, so instead, Loomis is like, all right, I'll go talk to my roommate.
Yeah, they call him his roommate, which is weird because it also sounds like this house is Loomis's childhood house.
Yes,
because
it
the main
is.
character says I spent a lot of time here growing up, and so
And because Loomis says, don't ruin my parents' sheets.
yeah, so
Because he finds his roommate.
in the most inexplicable moment in this movie, and that's saying something. He goes upstairs and finds this guy. I don't know. Is it his roommate? Does he just live there?
I don't
I
know.
think they call him his roommate, which is confusing. But he opens the door and this guy is fucking his girlfriend and he's wearing a pig mask.
He's wearing a pig mask. There is no
No
explanation.
explanation ever.
It's not even addressed.
Yeah.
The guy takes the mask off and is like, hey, you want to watch?
Hey, dude. Is it a reference to The Shining? Not sure. I
no,
don't think so.
That's a bear.
I know, but do you know what I mean?
I don't-
That's the most I can explain it.
And the girl getting banged is like, you need a girlfriend, Milo. And then he leaves. This was slightly pared down for the theatrical version because we saw a lot of man-ass
Lots of man
in the unrated cut. And I think the line about do you want to watch was removed or something.
Oh, okay.
But then he puts the mask back on and gets back to it.
No, we
No
don't. We
fucking
never talk
explanation.
about it ever again. It's fine.
Oh, you know what? Maybe this is when he calls Hutch because he goes back up there a second time and they're dead.
Yeah, they've been killed.
And apparently, they were killed like their characters in the game.
Yeah, so this is what were they ever playing
Were
the
they
game?
ever playing? Did they play, die, and then go have sex with a pig mask? Because
Yeah.
as far as I know, that wasn't told to us at any point.
The rules of the game and how people are cursed by it and die make no fucking sense. Not even in the unrated version. There's no
There's no consistency.
rhyme or reason for how this game works, and I hate it.
You would think that, okay, the premise is You play the game, you die in the game, you die in real life. Simple enough.
Clean,
you understand that.
Amazing, yeah.
But then the question becomes, when the characters realize that that's what's happening, why don't they just stop playing the game? And they do that, but then one of them dies anyway.
Yeah, they start getting killed anyway. So
I hate it.
And then now apparently if these roommate characters didn't play the game with him, because the options are they didn't play it at all and they still just, they're collateral damage, I don't know. Or they were playing it, but also why would they be? Because he's not really playing it, he's beta testing it, which is a very tedious job. It's like play testing a game.
Yeah.
It's not fun, you're not really playing it.
I don't know, man.
You're making your character run at walls to make sure that
He
you
doesn't
don't
clip
glitch
through 'em, yeah.
different levels or whatever. It's not that.
The deaths of these two characters is an immediate, like, what are we doing here? What's the
Right.
rules?
Yeah.
Because I don't know why they were killed.
I'm sure someone will tell us
Please
that
do.
we're wrong.
All right?
There's
then
a creepy face behind
yeah.
Milo when he's It's cool. Is it Milo or Milo?
I don't know.
It's Milo.
Oh,
it
it
just
is
Milo? I don't know why I always thought it was
two
Milo.
weeks in a row that I'm fucking up an M name. Maya Goff. Then Milo runs out of there after seeing them being dead.
Yeah,
runs out of
after
the
he
room.
throws milk at the shadow man in his
Oh, yeah.
kitchen, he walks into his kitchen and just sees like a black shape and just hurls a thing of milk at it.
Yeah.
Got him.
Oh yeah, and he was drinking a Red Bull because he's a gamer.
Uh-huh.
And then he gets hanged.
He
just
should
like
have been drinking Nas or Balls, I think, if he's a real gamer. Or
even a
Red
Mountain Dew
Line.
Live Wire
Yeah.
would have been good. 2006. Orange.
We cut to his friend Hutch, who is our main character, and Hutch is apparently a lawyer who works for the hitman in season 2 of Fargo.
Yeah, Adam Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to clarify, in case you missed it, Loomis did die by hanging, just like he did in the game.
Yeah.
He, like, falls off the balcony of his very large home.
Of his McMansion.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're dealing with the new main character, Hutch.
This guy is the most... He's
real generic.
he's the most 2000s protagonist. This guy loves less than Jake. Do you know? And he's got the short sleeve shirt with the long sleeve thing going
Underneath
on.
it, yeah. Oh, he's
I
rocking
just know
that.
guy has played guitar for his girlfriends before. I just know exactly who this guy is. He gives his boss, Adam Goldberg, video game advice. I
About
don't know.
Resident Evil.
About Resident Evil.
I don't know if they name it, but the things
I
they're
think
describing.
he says 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as that video by Cecil Trachtenberg mentioned, Good Bad Flicks, yeah, it was specifying that they're talking about the things they're discussing are in the first Resident Evil, but they say Resident
They
Evil 4.
switched the name, yeah.
But still, I think it's impressive the specificity with which they talk about it, even if it's from a different game in the Resident Evil series. I think that's impressive because, again, listen, for those younger viewers out here, we live in a world where nerd culture is pop culture. And 2006, it was not quite there.
No, it was starting to get there.
It was starting to bubble up beneath the surface. But, like, if you were a gamer, any references to video games and movies and stuff would be the most surface level bullshit. It would not be like the very exact specific references you get nowadays.
I love how Adam Goldberg's like, if you spend less time gaming, you could be successful like me, just in this office with all white walls and a giant Coke mirror.
Well, here's the thing is that this is the first scene of many where it's just individual shots of people, medium close-up at furthest away.
This movie's incomprehensible to watch. There's no establishing shots, and every shot of every character is very close, and so you don't have a sense of where characters are, and it was so disorienting to watch.
Yeah,
It's not pleasant.
There are action shots where you see more of them, but when it's dialogue scenes, there's hardly any group shots or two shots. It's just back and forth individuals.
It's very unsettling.
Some scenes just start in a new location and you're like, wait, where are we now? There's nothing done to establish it.
Yeah. We cut to Loomis's funeral. Hutch is there. There's a very quirky manic pixie dream girl, I think, taking photos at the funeral with her old school camera that apparently is the same camera from Fatal Frame, which is a neat touch.
Sure.
But also that's a very old school camera.
I don't even know what that is.
Fatal Frame?
Yeah.
It's like a I've never played it, but I think it's like a supernatural game where you take pictures of ghosts and stuff. I know there's a Fatal Frame Smash level. You remember where it's like the ghosts and the little girl with the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, this is Abigail, played by Samara Armstrong.
Yeah. She's on the OC.
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't super familiar with her.
Yeah.
I missed out on a lot of that aspect of 2000. I didn't watch the OC or One Tree Hill or any of that stuff. So, how does she know the? It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, she's taking pictures.
But she's there and she's
whatever.
like, I'm taking pictures of all the sad people because they all look so beautiful and kind and just, oh boy.
Yeah,
This 2000s.
This is the era of
girl,
Garden State.
Dude, this is the most post Garden State girl character I've
Was Garden
seen
State
in a
before
minute.
this?
Garden
was
State
Garden
would have
State?
been 2003 or 4.
3 or 4, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this line delivery from Loomis's little sister. She gives
So
her dead brother's belongings to Hutch because she thinks that he would want to have it. And I wrote down a line, besides, he would want you to have them. And like, it's just like the most, I don't give a fuck about this line.
besides, who wants you to have them? My mom and dad won't let me play these.
It's a very uncertain line delivery. I hope we can get a sound up editor, and I just want to hear how unsure this little girl sounds saying this line.
Well, Mom and Dad won't let me play those video games. They're gonna toss them, they were too violent. Besides, he would want you to have them.
She sounds like those little kids. We were just watching them this morning, but the G.I. Joe kids, like, a detective, my mom won't let me have a computer. Like, she's the best part of this movie.
Maybe. Yes, amongst these belongings is the beta game Stay Alive.
Stay alive.
And we don't see that right away because first, Hutch has to go meet up with his girlfriend October, who is at a LAN cafe.
I think it's a LAN.
And she is laying on the bar with her leg. Like the shot starts with her leg. This is a public facility that she is laying on top of the bar of reading a book in her
Serve food there. I don't think you're allowed to.
and it's probably sticky. Your clothes are getting sticky. So this is his girlfriend named October, played by Sophia Bush, which sounds like One
Listen,
Tree
when you're
Hill.
the one girl at a LAN cafe, you are the empress, dude.
Sure, she can lay on
Oh,
whatever
man.
surface she wants.
She's living it up, whatever.
And here's the thing. Okay, so this is his girlfriend, October. He gets there. She greets him very lovingly with a kiss, with a "How are you doing?"
Yeah.
They seem
They
to have
seem
a
like
good
a nice
relationship.
couple.
More on that later.
She's a cute little goth girlfriend,
Yep.
and they seem perfectly happy.
There's no indication that she is perhaps shitty to him or anything like that.
No, this movie is doing the classic blonde brunette dilemma.
Oh,
Where
the old
they're
Archie
both,
comics?
It's very much an Archie dilemma where they're both very cute and nothing wrong with the girlfriend, but there is this other blonde one now, and well,
Gotta try that flavor out.
yeah.
Give me a little sample spoon.
Yeah, no reason to second guess his relationship at all, but there is a blonde girl now, so.
His girlfriend, again named October, has a brother named Phineas, aka Finn, played by Jimmy Simpson.
Jimmy Simpson, Gressel, poor Jimmy Simpson in this, man.
He gives it his all.
Yeah, and
He
I
is
hate
committed
it.
to
It's the thing. I was literally about to say this is the one thing I have just hated Jimmy Simpson, and I love Jimmy Simpson. I
He's
think
McPoyle.
he's so fucking good in everything. He was my dream casting choice for adult Bill in the It movies.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I think he would have been so good. It was James McAvoy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good too.
He was great, yeah.
But I think Jimmy Simpson is so fucking good.
Now here's the thing, hon. A lot of people who love this movie love Jimmy Simpson.
This is where I think I fundamentally just operate on a different it's like a genetically coded taste thing
It's
where
like the
I will
cilantro thing.
it really is. This is me. I do have the gene where cilantro tastes like soap, and this is a similar thing where this Jimmy Simpson performance in the unrated version, apparently the PG-13 cuts a lot of him out, which
Most
is
of his
fine.
dialogue, because he is the
He's yucking it up this whole time. He's the
profane 2000s edgelord.
He hangs out on
jokester.
4chan and regularly updates Encyclopedia Dramatica. It's that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think he pops up from behind the bar wearing the stupid hat with the little dangles from the side of it. I don't know what those are called. Took with testicles, I don't know, but he pops.
God, that's the most Michigan thing. All right, continue.
Yeah, he pops up saying, "Holy fucking shit, really?" That line's not in the PG-13 version, obviously, but he's talking about how beta testing sucks because it's just like eating the beef, and it's cool at first, but then gets real monotonous and bad. But then what gives him a boner? What does he say gives him a boner?
The idea of having access to this unreleased
a virgin game as they
call it.
Yeah,
he calls it a virgin game.
Yeah, and he says, it's like, it gives me a boner. It's like butterflies in my stomach, but more like, and his sister's like, a boner? And he's like, a boner.
It's just bad. It's just so bad.
He's just the, intentionally obnoxious guy. And again, I think Jimmy Simpson is doing exactly what he was hired to do.
He did what the job description, like he's doing what they wanted him to do.
To a T.
It's just a lot.
It's just that character's kind of annoying.
How old are these characters supposed
That's
to be?
the other thing. It's
a mystery.
The age spread of all these characters, because Abigail, the blonde, quirky photographer, mentions at one point, turns out to be a lie, but she says, next year I'm going to
Princeton.
It's a lie, but it at least conveys the idea that she is of the age that maybe just graduated high school.
Yeah,
maybe
it makes it sound like she's 18.
Sure, 18 to 20, we'll say, with the transferring allowance. The lead guy is played by a 22-year-old. Don't know how old he's supposed to be because he's working as a lawyer or at least at a law firm.
Yeah.
And then some of the other characters are 24, 26. And then Jimmy Simpson is hanging out. He's 31 years old in this movie. And his sister, who is 5 years younger than him in real life and looks it, calls him her little brother at one point.
So confusing.
And then Frankie Muniz is here, by the way.
Yeah, and then also Frankie Muniz, who I forget how he's friends with them?
Or he lives next to them, maybe. Here's a little interlude. I looked up all the differences on the website I always use for differences between cuts, movies-censorship.com, which is a great resource for these things, but it is run by non-English as their first language folk. I think they're German. So it's very, and then translated. Okay. So the English gets real fun sometimes.
Oh boy.
And this is such a long article because of all the changes, and I read through it all, and all of them refer to Frankie Muniz's character as the small one.
Oh my gosh, the small one.
Just throughout. And Jimmy Simpson is called the Joker throughout. It's so good. I love that website.
They sound like a tarot deck. Like the Joker, the small one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Goth girlfriend. Hey, want to talk to you about our first sponsor this week, Dadgrass. In Stay Alive, all references to weed were edited out for the PG-13 version, but not this podcast. We're here to talk about weed. Specifically, chill weed, like the kind our parents used to smoke. Dadgrass is legal, organic, smokable hemp that relaxes your body and mellows your mind. They're 100% organic pre-rolled joints that are very low in THC and high in CBD, so you get all the good effects of CBD while keeping a clear head. Actually, right now, if you go check out Dadgrass, they have this new collection out. They've partnered with the George Harrison Estate to create a new CBD and CBG blend and accessories called All Things Muskgrass, which pays tribute to the 50th anniversary of George Harrison's album, All Things Must Pass. The best part is that all Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 21 and over, and it'll ship right to your door anywhere in the US. If you want to check out Dadgrass, right now Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/deadmeat. Go to dadgrass.com/deadmeat for 20% off your first order. One more time, that's dadgrass.com/deadmeat. Our next sponsor this week is Fitbod. So I would never call myself a gamer, but I do play a lot of video games. I love them so much, but the big downside is that it's a very sedentary activity. And being sedentary is not only not great for you physically, but mentally it affects you as well. I've been a lot better personally at exercising over the past year, and I have noticed a huge mental difference. And I found the only reason I've been able to stick to exercising pretty consistently over the last year is because I have a routine. When I can look at something and see my routine and see what I've been doing in the past and what I have coming up, it's so much easier for me to stick to it. And the easiest way to stay motivated to sticking to a plan too is easing into it, and that's what Fitbod is so great for. It's an app with an innovative algorithm that creates a dynamic fitness plan based on you, your personal goals, equipment, and fitness level. So your program's gonna grow and change with you, and it learns with each workout, so you're always set up for your next session to be optimal for you. Fitbod also tracks your muscle recovery, so it's going to balance your workout plan and make sure that you're not overworking certain muscles or ignoring certain muscle groups either. So maybe you're a gamer who sits a lot and you're worried about, I don't know, accidentally picking up a haunted video game where the characters in it can chase you and kill you in real life. You might want to start building a fitness routine that engages your mind and body with Fitbod. Get 25% off your subscription or try out the app for free when you sign up now at fitbod.me/deadmeat. That's 25% off your subscription at fitbod.me/deadmeat.
Jimmy Simpson is the one who finds, and remember this, he finds the game.
Can we just, everything that happens is Jimmy Simpson's fault. Because Hutch is like, no, it'd be weird, he just happens to have it in his bag because he was given that shit by the guy's sister because he fucking died.
Yeah.
And
she
so,
didn't even know what she was
Jimmy
doing.
Simpson's like, no, we gotta, like, he's so fucking pumped. He's popping a huge boner for this game, and he tells everyone about it, and he insists they all play it because it's a virgin game, which is the weirdest thing to call a game.
So, yeah, whatever. We can jump ahead. When Jimmy Simpson dies, his sister gets so mad and blames the main character. She's like, this is all your fault for bringing this game into our life. Dude, your brother literally was the one who was like, look at this game, stay alive, we have to play this. And Hutch was like, no.
I wanted to just edit in a flashback with like the fuzzy, it's all like desaturated and echoey, and it's like, I've got such a boner for this game, because that's all his fault. He did it to himself.
Oh, man.
I actually get a boner in moments like these. It's kind of like butterflies. A lot more like a boner.
Okay, so they go to Hutch's apartment to play this fucking virgin game.
That's when Frankie Muniz shows up, and it's a literal Frankie Muniz jump scare because he looks through
his peephole of the door. Frankie Muniz pops up, and he has this stupid green visor that he wears the whole movie upside down sometimes.
It's like one of those visors that old-timey accountants
yeah.
wear with
but he's
like
wearing
the green
it,
lamp, yeah.
But he's wearing it like the guy from Pretty Fly for a White Guy wears his hat, the music video.
Yeah.
Which I gotta put on my music video list.
So yeah, they all get together to play this game, and this setup of this game is...
Okay.
Let's talk about it, because
they're bringing in...
It's just not possible, okay?
They find a copy of Stay Alive, right?
Yeah, they have a single copy.
A single copy of this game, and it is 2006, right? Okay, but they have a group of 5 people in this apartment with 5 TVs of various sizes.
Yeah.
October even makes a size joke about how she's a fucking size queen or some shit. And they all have, so what? Somehow now they are all playing on their individual TVs, presumably on individual consoles.
Yeah, they are each controlling a character. So this isn't a thing where it's the same thing on a bunch of different TVs so they can all see. No, they each have their own dedicated screen where they're each doing a different thing.
Yeah, they each have their own point of view on an individual TV, which begs the question of how many copies of this game do they have? How many consoles do they have that they're playing it on? And then... Is this what you were going to say?
Yeah.
Adam Goldberg?
Yes.
Is fucking remote playing with them from The Office. So you could have gotten me there with saying it's a LAN connection. They burned copies of a disc. They all had PlayStations with the little springs in the the disc loader that allowed you to play burned games. I had that. And they somehow LAN connected it with dongles. But Adam Goldberg is playing from The Office this beta game with them all cooperatively. At first, I thought that they were each going to be playing their own single-player game in tandem.
No, it's a co-op
No,
game.
it's a co-op game.
Because there's a line. Because also there's a moment where they realize the game is voice activated, which they're like, this should not be. But also, you should have realized this game is fucked when you were able to pull off this crazy ass multiplayer setup.
Yeah, because there's a text comes on the screen and they can't move past it until they read it aloud. But
Which
at
is
first,
cool. That is a cool thing.
And they address it. They're like, this is next gen technology. So sure, that's
so
fine.
is the whole thing you've got going on right now.
But what's funny is that Hutch is at first is the only one who reads it, and only his screen moves on. Like, it has such specific voice detection that the others in the same room know not to move on until their specific
That's a good
player
point.
reads it.
That's a crazier thing than it just being voice sensitive or voice activated. Yeah.
As someone who spent all of 2006 hosting and setting up LAN parties, this is no. This is no. This is no.
Do you think they were using Ventrilo with
Or TeamSpeak maybe.
Ooh, okay.
But as far as like connecting to Adam Goldberg online, I forget the systems that I would use when I had plug my Xbox into a hub with my computer and then run. It was like Game Connect or some shit on the computer. Oh, man.
I think it's so funny, too, that the only reason Adam Goldberg is a character in this, I'm realizing, is so they can have a character die in the game, and then he gets killed, and none of them realize until later, and then they put the pieces together. Otherwise, they all figure it out way too quickly if it's one of them. Because I'm wondering, like, wait, we don't even need Adam Goldberg. Why is there this random guy? And I think it is just a plot thing.
Random guy doing coke in his office. That's all out of the theatrical
big coke
cut.
mirror,
Yeah. At first,
that he puts back on the wall.
at first he's doing coke, and then like you see what he's doing coke on. It's this giant mirror on his desk, and I'm like, does that just live there? But no, he does put it back on his wall and like wipes it off.
Yeah. He went out fine, you know?
Yeah.
He was all coked out playing.
But what's funny is that before he dies, he starts to see like figures in the office building.
Dude,
he's like,
yeah.
what? And he's like sweating and stuff. And I realize that it's probably a combination of him being afraid and on coke, right?
Yeah.
But the way he's playing it, it comes off just like he really has to poop.
It does, he's got the poop sweats.
You ever,
for
the
sure.
poop sweats where it's like this weight in your stomach,
dude,
and maybe
it's
you're
so
on a
bad.
plane or in an office
Or
meeting.
you're in a car and like,
There's nothing you can do, so it just sits there and just like draws all your heat
dude.
out.
Oh man.
But speaking of poop, we skipped a scene here.
Okay, yeah. God,
Okay, and
there's
this-
so much dumb bullshit going on.
this is a
in
pivotal
movie.
scene.
Okay, so
he-
before they start playing the game, the blonde girl,
Abigail.
she's invited over to hang out with them for reasons, and Hutch immediately looks at his girlfriend and is like, we're friends and she's gonna come hang out with us. Is it cool? Okay, thanks. And so Abigail asks to use the bathroom, and she goes to use the bathroom. There's no toilet paper in there, apparently.
Hutch is like, oh, I forgot. There's no toilet paper. Runs to the hallway where she is.
Yeah. So he brings her toilet paper, and he's like, how do you want me to get this to you? And she's like, you can just kind of like crack open the door and pass it. He just opens up that door and gives her toilet paper. She's just sitting there pooping. And
She might be peeing. Girls need toilet paper for pee too.
But it's much funnier if she's just taking a giant dump and he
Yeah,
opens
it's like, oh,
the door.
God.
And I don't know, he just kind of watches her
He like,
poop.
yeah, he lingers.
Yeah.
He's like, oh.
Yeah,
And she's like, hi, you want to close that?
you're so funny. Haha, thanks.
And again, this is the first crack in the relationship that was shown to be a fine and healthy relationship, but this guy's like, oh, I'm going to watch this girl
Is this
pee.
supposed to endear us to him? They could have picked anything
This
else.
scene, not in the theatrical version.
Yeah, because we're watching a girl take a shit.
She stands up from the toilet and you watch it through the door crack to get the toilet paper.
I don't know. Am I supposed to think it's cute that he's
I don't
like,
know,
oh,
dude.
Oops. I'm sorry, here's your toilet paper. I don't keep toilet paper in the bathroom because I'm a gamer and I'm
he's like,
disgusting.
Sorry, the toilet paper's in the hall on the floor. Let me get that for you.
Oh my God, so much going on here.
So they're all playing the game. They're exploring the mansion. They're
Yeah.
splitting up. Adam Goldberg's character gets killed in the game.
While they're
Gets
playing
stabbed.
too, I have to note this. I think it's Jimmy Simpson at one point, offhanded remark to Abigail. He goes, "God, that thing is gay," pointing at her camera. There's a couple times in this where we get a insert
later,
thing here is gay because
Frankie
it's
Muniz
the
later is
2000s.
like gearing up to game, and he has like a, I don't know, a carpal tunnel.
He puts a gamer glove on, like a carpal tunnel, and then he immediately rips off and he goes, "No, it's gay." Like, what the
2006,
This
baby.
is why Wanda Sykes and Hilary Duff did those PSAs where they told us all not to call stuff gay. Do you remember those?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why they had to do that. We had
Because
a
of
problem.
Stay Alive. Anyway, they're playing the game. Goldberg's character gets killed in the game,
Yeah.
and then he gets haunted by a spirit. And you know what? I will say, the little spooky guys in this game, in this movie, I kind of like them.
Yeah, I want to see more of the actual game though, because they show us that character creator, and I want a little more of that.
I want a monster.
I want a
factory,
monster
baby.
factory of this game.
Because Muniz is able to recreate his fucking visor in the game.
That should also be a. You should also maybe think it's weird that this game knows what I'm wearing and I can recreate it perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. Before they wrap things up for the night, though, and this is also not in the theatrical cut, Muniz is like, "But I just found a way to make the vampire concubines naked. Guys, put in this code. Up, down, left, right, BA start." And they do it, and you don't see the screen, but Jimmy Simpson sure has a boner.
So nice. And you know what? All these guys are noobs and casuals because they don't realize that that's just the Konami code. None of them.
They don't even fucking address it.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as codes to make your character naked, we were just watching The Circle. There was a code for the Spice Girls game that would make them naked.
Was there really?
But they were sitting in the chairs. So it was just
Oh.
like their legs and arms.
Oh,
But the chair
I didn't
was,
know that.
I put that code in as a
It's
little
weird
thing.
that I'd never heard of, but there was that cheat in Grand Theft Auto, the like hot coffee.
Hot coffee mod.
That was a whole thing. That thing
Yeah.
went to the Supreme Court, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
It was like an obscenity thing. Yeah.
Representatives that the Federal Trade Commission should investigate the publication of the video game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas to determine if the publisher intentionally deceived the Entertainment Software Ratings Board to avoid an adults-only rating.
God, what a dumb country. Okay. Okay. Oh, important thing too. They can apparently in the game they can drop roses on the ground to. It's like a protective thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck.
We gotta get through this fucking movie,
Yeah. So
man.
okay, the boss gets murdered. Baltimore's finest show up. It's
Yes.
Bunk from The Wire.
Literally Bunk from The Wire. The Wire's ongoing
Still
at this
airing,
point. The
yeah.
Wire wasn't done until 2008. Bunk fucking took time off or in between seasons to film Stay Alive.
I like thinking that this is an
Wendell
in
Pierce.
between season storyline of The Wire.
He's like, "Jimmy,
Yeah.
you won't believe this shit."
I just love the idea. I want to believe that Bunk just showing up and being like, "How are you all playing that game at the same time?"
Yeah. Now explain that. How many consoles do you have, and how are they interlinked?
Yeah. So great, amazing. Bunk is here, and there's a scene too with our main character and the two girls, and it has one of my favorite lines where October says to Abigail, "I don't know anything about you other than you've got poor bladder control and can't game for shit."
Yeah, I would love to have someone put in their dating profile online, "Poor bladder control, can't game
Can't
for
game
shit."
for shit. Lots of Alienware products in this film.
Dude, Alienware fucking sponsored this movie or something.
100%.
Alienware saves the day in the
Alienware,
end, doesn't
yeah,
it?
yes.
A chrome Alienware laptop defeats the villain
Yes, it
as a
does.
mirror. Yeah, Alienware
It's
all
very
over this.
good.
It's great.
Oh boy, now there's this weird like cross-cutting where they're all in different locations, I think.
Yeah, you don't know until, because like Jimmy Simpson's working on a car, Frankie Muniz is working on a computer, she's at the game land cafe, whatever. But like they don't show.
It's confusing. This computer starts bleeding. It's just, I don't know, it's just a montage of weird stuff. Like the main character sees his face in the mirror and he goes all cross-eyed and the mirror cracks.
Yeah, and I don't even like.
I don't really even know why that's there.
I guess once they've played the game, they can now be kind of
yeah,
haunted
to
by
clarify, none of them died while they were playing the game.
it. No, they like paused it and
They
stopped
paused
playing.
it, yes.
Yeah.
So that's when Frankie Muniz is talking about perceptive reality, where it's, what is it? It's like if you, it's
I
something about,
checked out when he started saying those
yeah, I
words.
did too. I kind of, it just went to static real quick. But it's, I think it's like if you're playing a game, you start to, your line of reality starts to bleed kind of thing. There's, I don't know, like there's an old Greg looking thing that pops up in the,
I'm all Greg.
yeah.
Oh, they do also mention they don't want to miss their G4 Tech TV programming.
Uh-huh.
It's little stuff like that where I'm like, all right, okay, you at least were
My
a member
Attack
of
the
this culture.
Show marathon is on.
I gotta see Olivia Munn. She's so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the vibrations in this movie are the loudest fucking
The loudest
vibrations ever.
noises
Whether it's a
ever.
game controller or a cell phone, they fucking shake the house. I bet Gressel heard them from upstairs
Yeah.
when we were watching this damn thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. At one point, Jimmy Simpson says, without any trace of irony or self-awareness, that his whip just got ruined.
I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty cool car. It's this red, I don't know if it's a
Yeah, what does that guy do for
Ferrari
a
or
living?
I don't know. That's why I don't understand how old any of these characters are or what they do. I just know that Jimmy Simpson probably listens to Dragon Force in his car.
Oh, for sure. And he's working real hard at mastering the expert Dragon Force Guitar Hero track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, there was a scene where he was playing and then stopped playing. Jimmy Simpson kept playing on his own. Everyone else was like, I don't feel like playing. Adam Goldberg just died. And he's like, fuck it, pussies, I'm going to play. And then they're like, oh, wait, that might be why Adam Goldberg died. And they run to Jimmy's apartment and find him hunched over.
Yeah.
And then
oh
he-
no, is he dead? Did he game too hard?
And then he sits up with a giant bong
Yeah.
and exhales. Not in the theatrical cut.
Of course it's not.
At least not the suck and pull. I think the exhale is.
I think it'd be funny if in the theatrical they did some really wonky edit where it looked like he was tying his shoes or something.
Yeah.
After he was bent over. My notes are all over the fucking place because there's so much weird cross-cutting between stuff that I genuinely am not really sure what the plot is anymore at this point.
I don't know how much they know at this point, but he does. This is around when Jimmy Simpson dies. A horse-drawn carriage runs him over, which leads to an amazing line later by October, which is literally, somebody ran my brother down in a horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah, to her credit, the most anguished, very sincere delivery of that line, and it made us laugh really, really hard. I think it's I think it's after he gets run over by a carriage. The cops show up again, and Bunk is like, "All right." Bunk has his other sidekick cop played by I forget the guy's name, but he was in another David Simon. He was in Trem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is it Trem?
Or Treme?
Treme?
I don't know.
Treme?
I haven't seen it.
Treme? I
maybe?
never watched Treme.
Also New Orleans based.
Yeah.
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 I would want to watch that. I would also just watch The Wire again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets, by the way, Jimmy Simpson getting run over by this ghost carriage.
It looks so weird.
I thought for a second we were back in the video game, but no, this happens in real life and he gets murdered.
It is funny looking.
And then there's like an overhead shot that keeps dissolving.
Time lapse.
Well, there's the time lapse, but before that, it's when they find his body and it dissolves between his sister getting hugged by all the members of the group. But I think Abigail hugs her the most, multiple times, even though they just fucking met and they're kind of fighting over the same guy.
Yeah, it's
I don't
weird.
know.
It's very weird.
Yeah, Bunk and his partner show up, and the other guy's like, let's see what you guys are scared of. And because they bring their gaming laptops everywhere, he just hops on it in the trunk of the car and starts playing it.
Yeah, and they're like, no, dude, seriously, don't play that. And he's like, he basically just calls them pussies. And he's like, I could see if you're young and stupid, you would be scared by this.
So here's an interesting thing that I was looking at on that website that compares the screenshots, and I think this is something that you had mentioned. So the cop is playing the game, and his character gets basically put in a saw trap. It's in a chair.
It's very, yeah.
And Saw had come out, so maybe it was
Reverse
inspired.
bear trap,
yeah.
kind of.
Hooks come down and grab his face and tear it apart, right? if you'll notice, the graphics in the version we watched of the game seem a little subpar compared to the rest of the graphics of the game that they're playing.
Oh, I didn't point that out.
No, but you were saying that Disney wouldn't give them money for gory graphics because they wanted it to be PG-13.
I think that's
right?
what I heard somewhere.
Well, here's the interesting thing. My guess is that this was a temp graphics of his video game character getting his head ripped apart, because the screenshots of the theatrical version that I saw on this website, the game looks way better. His character model is so much better.
Is it a different death?
You see the hooks come in and grab his face, and then it cuts away before it actually blows up his head. And then here's the other thing. Apparently, that storyline stops right there in the theatrical cut, and you never see that cop again. Go to the game store, look for Stay Alive. You never see him die. So
Then what's the point?
What's the point?
This cop just being correct and being like a stupid haunted game and then living and nothing bad happens to him.
I'm wondering if in the theatrical version, the implication is that they stop him from playing before his head gets ripped apart so he wouldn't be killed.
But he would, though, because they're all getting picked off one by one and they didn't die in the game.
Yeah, because Jimmy Simpson just died even though he didn't die playing the game. And they're like, wait a minute, he stopped playing. How could it? And I think they look at the game and it like played it automatically for him or something. I don't know. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
And this is the unrated version that we're watching, the version that everyone's like, no, if it's unrated, it makes a lot more sense.
It's bad. I'm so sorry.
No, it doesn't.
It makes no sense.
Oh, man.
It's not very good.
Yeah, but anyway, that cop plays, his character gets his head ripped apart. It's a pretty cool death. And then we follow him for a little bit. We see the game store clerk with the Woot shirt.
This game store clerk.
Yeah, what'd you call him?
He's like Quentin Tarantino of games, because Quentin Tarantino worked in a video store when he was in high school, and that's how he got really into movies. And this guy just has the exact same energy, and I imagine that's his origin story.
He has an elbow fetish instead of a foot fetish.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, the cop ends up just getting in his car, and then keeps cutting between real life and his game character, and then it cuts to the outside of the car for his head blowing up.
And so none of that's in the...
No.
Wow. So yeah, then why bother having him play the game at all?
That's a great question, Chelsea.
I wonder if it was just an editing thing where they couldn't work around that.
Might be.
Oh man, what the hell?
There's more omissions.
I can't wait. It's around here we learn that the main character's dad burnt their house down when he was a kid.
Oh yeah, Hutch is like his dad found his mom sleeping.
Not even, he just suspected his mom. He just got like paranoid and thought that his mom was sleeping around and did the like, if I can't have you, no one can, and burned the house down.
Yeah, because you do see burn marks on Hutch's back at one point.
Yeah, and he freaks out whenever people use a lighter
he
or
freaks
use
out.
fire.
He survived that fire. His parents did not. I believe they both died in the fire. But what's really funny is that he keeps having these traumatic flashbacks to the incident. And when he does, there's always a shot of an NES controller in the fire.
Yeah.
It's like that is what the kid was focused on while his parents were burning to death. He was like, not my Nintendo.
Yeah.
How will I play Icarus?
So
Kid Icarus. That's
Kid
what-
Icarus, yeah.
Great game.
So after this fucking the cop gets his head ripped open in the car, they okay, so we got some parallel things going on here. We've got the main character Hutch going back to the Loomis house because they think, oh, we must have missed something there. This is a whole convoluted
And he's
weird
going
thing.
with Abigail because October has to tend to her brother's funeral stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, that's okay, old girlfriend. I'll take
go with
future
new
girlfriend. Yeah.
To Loomis's house.
Where he lived, you're right, after his parents died.
Yeah.
So that's the backstory.
Yeah. And this is so stupid. They go up to Loomis's room. And Abigail says, well, why do you think we're going to find anything if the cops have already searched this place? And Hutch says, well, they just don't know where to look. He cracks open Loomis's computer tower to find a PDA. It's like a little phone.
Yeah, dude, great place to put that. Inside your hot-ass tower.
Inside this extremely warm computer tower.
Yeah, and inside your gaming computer, just wedged between the hard drives.
Yeah.
Between their fucking...
And it's the address of the game company. Why is that such a secret? Why is that hidden in the... I don't know, man. Also, why wouldn't he? I can't. I can't. Okay. So, meanwhile, Frankie Muniz is with October
at,
I think, Hutch's apartment.
yeah.
And they're doing research.
Because this is when she's like, oh, this countess.
Yeah, she's like, I'm reading this book that she acquired from somewhere. This book about Elizabeth Bathory and blah, blah, blah.
And her whole thing was she would kill younger women and bathe in their blood to stay young.
Yeah, as this is happening, that apartment gets swatted.
Because Cop Guy's head blew up, which also I'm wondering why this makes sense in the theatrical
Yeah, like
version
all
now.
of a sudden, why is Bunk showing up with the whole police department, guns loaded?
Guns fucking drawn.
They're ready to kill all these kids.
What are they do? There's no evidence linking them to this cop's head spontaneously combusting in his car.
Yeah.
And yet, they're kicking down the door with a gun drawn.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I think they escape that apartment. There's randomly a fade to black, like we're gonna have a commercial break.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on anymore. Hutch and Abigail go to the real plantation.
Yeah.
And there's a guy in there. Apparently someone lives there.
Only in the version we watched.
No way! Are you serious?
The game developer's not in the theatrical
What?
version.
They cut this whole thing?
Get this. So they get there, and they're looking around, and a guy appears from the shadows being like, what are you doing in my house?
Yeah.
He's got, they talk to him for a
John
minute.
Voight's son, Angelina Jolie's brother.
Is this true?
Yeah.
Oh, the actor? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And he's like, what are you doing in my house? He tells them a little bit about the tale of Elizabeth Bathory, and he's like, I want to create a really scary video game. And they're like, well, your game is fucking killing people,
Your
dude.
game's haunted.
And he's like,
Surprise.
well, that's not me. Maybe you should go talk to this local woman who wrote the book on Elizabeth Bathory. And then it just cuts to that scene where they're in this woman's apartment, and we're like, where are we?
Is it
'Cause
an
there's no
apartment or a
establishing-
bookstore?
Might be a bookstore. We don't know. There's no
don't know.
establishing shot. Also,
That's not in the. I knew that. I
scene
knew
is
she
not-
was not in the theatrical.
yes. So this whole chunk
Wow.
of the
All
game
the
developer,
backstory?
all this backstory is gone. That's why I was like, this movie is bad, but the theatrical version must be incomprehensible.
Yeah, just the most cryptic storyline. Oh man.
Because now we have this woman who wrote this book about Elizabeth
with the most insane accent I've ever heard.
I think she's trying to do a southern accent.
She's trying to do like a Cajun kind of drawl.
But you said the actress is South African?
Yes. Also, recently appeared on our podcast in the new Texas Chainsaw movie. She's Leatherface's
Foster
adoptive mom.
Yeah.
And I like her in that.
Yeah.
In this, I don't know what's going on with this accent.
Dude,
but
this voice is going in and
boy.
out. It's nuts.
I wanted to try doing but I can't even remember how it sounded because it was so weird. I'll just put in a clip of it.
Countess would hunt the countryside in a black carriage, kidnapping young girl after young girl, take them back to the most hideous torture chamber. And there she would bleed them dry and then bathe in a tub of their warm blood.
Yeah, it's more backstory, more.
It's all backstory. So then they
the
all.
Lady of Blood.
I think
She hated mirrors. She hates mirrors. That's important.
Yeah, because they remind her of how she's not young anymore. Because she's too vain to look at herself in mirrors. They all kind of end up reconvening together at the Loomis house, I think.
Yeah.
That's when October goes out for a smoke. And
Yeah, so Loomis's house, I guess, is in the subdivision. Makes sense. It's like a McMansion.
Yeah.
And she goes out for a smoke, and she walks by another McMansion being built. So it's just like the framework of the house. It's a house under construction. And she sees a spooky figure in the window, and she's like, okay, I'm going to end this now, because she had read in her book about how you need to, like, nail...
Yeah, you have to. You need 3 nails, and one goes in the chest, one goes in the
throat, and then one on the forehead, some shit like that. So she grabs some nails and hammers from the construction site and is like, I'm going to end this
She
now.
finds a nail gun.
Oh, yeah, she swaps them out for a nail gun.
Yeah.
Which would be cool. But instead, she gets strung up upside down.
Yeah, and she can't kill her with nails because she's a video game.
Oh, yeah, she's shooting the nails at him, and they're going through her.
Yeah. That's October gets hung upside down and killed.
Yeah, what does she go out saying? Like, fuck off or something?
I don't remember.
She has a final line that's like, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
She's
she gets
bled
her...
out like a fucking pig in a slaughterhouse.
Oh, go fuck yourself. That's what she says. Yeah.
Right.
And then, yeah, she gets her throat slit. And that's it for October.
Yep.
Good thing he has
New
replacement
girlfriend time.
Yeah.
We also, it's so funny to me that as soon as October dies and it's time for new girlfriend to ascend to the throne, that's when there's this scene that I don't know why we have it, where new girlfriend reveals that she lives in a van down by the river.
She literally says, yeah, everything I told you about my family life and Princeton
I'm not going to college. That's a lie. Everything about me is a lie. Also, this van is my house.
Yeah.
And we don't ever talk about that ever again.
I can't see how that ties in thematically with anything.
I don't understand.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just a part of this movie.
So at this point, it's
Hold on,
Hutch.
when October dies, Hutch gives a heart-wrenching performance. I'm just full of like, no, fuck, no, don't leave me, fuck, I can't fucking let you go. All that's cut, obviously, all the F-bombs. And they like frame it out, they like push him to get rid of all her blood.
I love it then, because then the theatrical version is him not giving a single fuck that his girlfriend just got killed and moving on immediately.
Yeah.
And honestly, he doesn't care that much in the unrated version either.
Yeah, she never let him watch her pee. So
yeah, that's true.
He's excited about new girlfriend.
So now we're down to Hutch, Abigail, and
Frankie Muniz.
Frankie Muniz.
Whose name is Swink,
Swink?
by the way.
Okay. It's Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, small one.
Small one, yeah. Small one. So, okay, now they go back to the plantation, and okay, they go back to the plantation. I'm just like exhausted. We don't have that much movie left, but I'm so
But this is when
exhausted.
the movie feels its length and really falls apart, I would say.
Yeah.
After October's death, I think the movie just fucking crumbles.
I agree.
It's a lot of running around. It's Frankie Muniz directing Hutch through the house by playing the game.
Yeah,
but
he's playing the game in the van, and they're walking, so the other two are walking through the house. And this is when apparently the game can just materialize shit, which is a thing we hadn't seen up to this point.
Hutch runs into a locked door, and Frankie Muniz is like, okay, hold on. And in the game, takes a crowbar, drops it on the ground, and now there's a crowbar in front of Hutch.
Crowbar. He
Like,
unlocks a door, he does like some other shit, and it just...
This is a step up.
Is it because they're in the plantation where the game actually takes place? Like
No, it's because this is a shitty movie.
I'm just trying to think of the logic story-wise as to why that wasn't a thing up until this point.
Yeah.
It's very silly. Because at that point, I don't know.
Also, Frankie Muniz is running around in this game. It's a third-person game, but he's like running at the camera.
It is the weirdest perspective.
Like you wouldn't know where your character was going,
Yeah.
dude. You're just running towards the fourth wall that you can't
His
see.
player character with the big cargo pants and it's so good.
And the visor,
Oh
yeah.
man, that 2000s fashion. He gets locked out of the van by ghosts, and then he breaks back into the van and yells, "Bitch, that's cheating. I'm not dead yet."
Dude, Frankie Muniz swears a lot in this movie, and it feels like he is not used to swearing on screen.
It feels like he was on a sitcom for years
yeah,
where he
'cause
wasn't used
this was
to
the
swear.
same year that Malcolm in the Middle ended, 2006.
Okay.
And so I just feel like he's having to say motherfucker and bitch a lot in this movie, and it just feels
It's so
unnatural
weird,
coming
yeah.
out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Like he's like worried that his parents are gonna yell at him for it.
Yeah.
Like fucking Hal is gonna.
Oh my god, Lois would not.
Lois!
Hal would pretend he was mad. He'd be mad because Lois
wink.
was upset, and then later talk to Malcolm and be like, "Look, you can do it when I'm around, but you know that gets
At
your
least
mother
get more
mad."
creative.
Yeah,
with your
exactly.
swears.
Yeah. I love Malcolm in the Middle, by the way.
Yeah, it's a fucking great
It,
show.
it holds up so well.
And Frankie Muniz is fine in that. He's not great in this.
No one's good in
No
this.
one's good in this.
You
Except
can't-
for Jimmy Simpson is the only one who's doing... Oh, and Wendell Pierce is doing nothing
Okay,
wrong.
Wendell Pierce is probably the best, and the little girl at the funeral.
No, she's the worst.
Wendell Pierce, honestly, it's very funny how good he is in this. He really is just, it's like he filmed these scenes. It's like they snuck onto the set of The Wire and handed him these pages, and he just didn't realize that
That it was
these
for
were,
something
it was for
else.
something
Yeah.
completely different.
He's still giving an HBO performance here.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. Okay, so Swink gets, like, chased by a real-life ghost because he can't get into the laptop. Or,
I
like,
don't know.
he can...
It's fine. He ends up like entangled in a bunch of roses.
And they protect him. Okay, so he's out of the movie until the very end.
Yeah. This is when for some
Abigail
is
all of a sudden in the dark, crawling around.
Yeah, Hutch leaves her with a rose and is like, this will protect you. She immediately starts picking the petals off, playing He Loves Me Not, because she's a quirky, manic pixie girlfriend. And I'm like, we're screaming at the TV like, no, that's supposed to protect you. What the fuck? And sure enough, she fucking mutilates this flower and all the lights go off and there's a ghost chase and there's dolls with maggots in their eyes.
No, here's how fucking confusing and dumb this movie is. The ghost chase and dolls with maggots is before that.
Stop. No, it's
no,
not.
she's like crawling around in the dark with flashes of light. She sees the dead game developer.
Yeah,
and that
okay.
shot's not in the theatrical version because that character doesn't exist. But she's like being chased by, like dolls with maggots and stuff. Then they meet up, get separated by a door.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I want you to go ahead without me and like go solve this thing.
Yeah, you're the main character.
Yeah, you're the
stay here
and pluck a flower.
Yeah,
So-
she gets caught by Elizabeth Bathory and hung upside down. Elizabeth Bathory gets naked to bathe in her blood. There's nudity.
Would you be shocked if I told you it's not in the theatrical version? Dude, the editing in this scene for the theatrical version sounds just, again, incomprehensible because she's naked in this scene.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna do her whole blood bathing thing to stay young. And they have to cut around that. So it just goes from like shots, close-ups of Abigail hung upside down to close-ups of the Countess. And then eventually when he does the thing with the nails, a wide shot where she's already gone. In the unrated cut, you see her dissolve away with a crossfade.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has to go to the tower where the townspeople locked her inside of until
So
she
it's
died.
her actual body is in there.
Because the nails weren't working on her ghost body. He's got to go put the nails into her actual corpse, which is in the
So
he has to go through this
does.
mausoleum maze.
Yeah.
Get to the tower. He does that.
Goes through this Dead by Daylight level to get to her. Yeah, he puts the nails in her, and what it does is that makes her mortal, I think.
It brings her back to life.
Yeah, it puts her spirit back in her body, so now she's mortal, and so he just fucking lights that bitch off.
Yeah, he overcomes his fear of fire to light her on fire.
Yeah, dude.
She melts. That kind of looks cool.
Yeah, that's when we realized that Frankie Muniz survived. So
Yeah, because he
that's
comes in
exciting.
covered in dirt and flowers
Yeah.
and stuff.
The last scene is the Quentin Tarantino GameStop employee putting a new game on the shelves, and the Stay Alive is playing on the TV.
Yep, and you hear a bunch of people saying the opening thing, the voice activated thing. Also in that
But
in
then
that store,
they killed her though, so like.
yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Also in that store is a bunch
I
of
guess, what am I doing? I host a horror podcast, and I'm like, yeah, but they killed the bad guy. Impossible.
there's a bunch of Game Informers in that.
Yes, there are.
And Dreamcast controllers.
Nice.
Which 2006.
That seems late, right?
Seems late, but I would have still bought them.
Yeah.
Even though clunky controller.
I had Mad Catz controllers.
For Dreamcast or?
No, for the GameCube.
Oh, okay.
I didn't own any gaming systems. They're very expensive.
They're very expensive.
All the gaming stuff I had was Nintendo, because those are the cheapest ones, like years after they were new. With the Mad Catz controllers. Which honestly worked fine.
They're fine. Didn't like their Xbox ones. I like the big old fucking clunkers with the original Xbox. Those things were like this big, dude. That's Stay Alive.
It's not good.
No. But people like it. You search Stay Alive on the horror
people
subreddit.
Love this thing.
Yeah, people are like, it's unfairly maligned.
It's like not Dead Alive. Silent.
Dead Silent.
Yeah.
I've seen it
Dead
grouped
Silence.
with that and maybe House of Wax. Oh no, Darkness Falls maybe.
Ooh, that's another one we should do.
Yeah.
Darkness Falls.
Yeah. Bad.
Yeah, and it's fine if you like this.
It's fine if you like it.
I like plenty of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Whatever. I just think it sucks because I'm watching the unrated one. I'm like, damn, it'd be cool if this was 10 minutes shorter. But apparently, if it's 10 minutes shorter, it is like a riddle of a film. It's like Mulholland Drive, where you're like, what's the mystery of the blue box? Like, what does this mean?
All
Also,
right.
it's your birthday. Let's go do birthday stuff.
Sure, we're filming this on my birthday.
Yeah.
So don't comment with happy birthday. You'll be late. Although I guess you could do it anyway, and I won't mind.
It'll count. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. That's it. Follow Dead Me on social media at DeadMeJames on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
I'm at Carebeck, CareBecc. on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want merch, jointstore.com.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Until then, I'm James.
I'm Chelsea. And this has been the Dead Meat Podcast.
See ya, gamers.
Woot.